Coming up in today's bulletin, the Ministry of Fisheries and Marine Resources plans to import tilapia to Arelico hatchery by the second quarter of next year. The Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock launched the Digital Village Initiative DVI in Malaita Province. And the National Referral Hospital remains open throughout the Christmas and New Year holidays. Hello, you're watching SIBC's TV News Bulletin. I'm Sharon Nanau. The Ministry of Fisheries and Marine Resources is looking to start importing tilapia to Arelico hatchery by the second quarter of next year. Ministry of Fisheries and Marine Resources Assistant Secretary Project Lisa Sigimanu said their import timeline is based on the completion of their tilapia facility infrastructure. She said once imported and bred in their centres, they are looking to roll out the program to Guadalcanal and Malaita tilapia farmers.
The Arelico hatchery, we have established a timeline that hoping that by second quarter of next year, all our infrastructure should be completed and MIFAL should start importation of tilapia gift they come in from there by MIFAL breed, and then MIFAL start for share them out, starting with Guadalcanal and then Malaita tilapia farmers.
Importation of tilapias into the country can only be accessed if the country meets the industry's infrastructure guidelines.
Yes, because I think you may do importation, and one thing we have import them is that we have to meet the required infrastructures and equipment where we need for actually operating this hatchery thing.
Meanwhile, Permanent Secretary Christine Ramofafia said currently the ministry has allowed local farmers to farm local tilapias to develop their breeding skills for the arrival of the imported tilapias in 2025.
I'm confident that our team is strong engagement with New Zealand, where I'm helping him with tilapia now, and go him because I finish now. In fact, next year, no more him import, and him import him give tilapia for him breeding and then distribute. At this time, we will allow no more everyone farmers blame me for the. So practice now with them at the local tilapia species in terms of for look after all the young seedlings for time give tilapia arrive and he breed him and he start for distribute him, then it will be of or saving skills yes. And for how to look after the animals at the farm.
The Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock has launched the Digital Village Initiative DVI in Auki, Malaita Province, a project funded by the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization aimed at expanding internet access and providing farmers and business owners across the Solomon Islands with vital agriculture resources and information. Simon Tavake with the details.
The Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock launched the Digital Village Initiative DVI in Malaita Province. Funded by the Food and Agriculture Organization FAO, the initiative tries to roll out access to information through internet across the Solomon Islands. In his remarks at the launch, Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock, Dr. Samson Violo said, the introduction of modern technology allows farmers and business owners to access agriculture resources through the Digital Village Initiative.
But at this time, email of modern technology now. It may be not necessary for personals or human being or officers from the ministry come stay with them. You may come no more installing such kind of facility. And then through such kind of facilities, you may farmers and business people or entrepreneurs, you may have access in what type of information you need through the internet. Maybe access to agriculture market information or how for drying good cocoa and coconut or how for farming good more or vegetables, bluyumi and root crops. Every information you don't need for go malo aukina. Hem lo tip lo finger bluyu no ma through lo IT facilities wa imigarem lo. Or for example, suppose you looking one for disease bloko kwa pod lo hiya fala new siki luki but you no sabe what na nem blo sikia you take photo no malo ko kwa pod ya you come upload him lo laptop lo hiya send them kam lo email blo mi falo ministry no then ministry experts check him na oh this fala siki na this one solution blame all same hem inform you come back you do selena you no need for travel go lo Honiara ma you no need for travel go lo Australia ma you no need for travel go malo auki everything Hemlo village blame lo hiya na. Hemna this the importance and significance blo this fala project ya. On the same note, me like for congratulating me lo community lo hiya.
FAO Solomon Islands focal point Douglas Yee in his remarks said FAO has been a long-term development partner for the country in agriculture space. Meanwhile, Rex Malakai Namabaula, a community leader representative, said the project will help the community develop its know-how on issues of concern to them.
This fellow community survey where we led to him, we feel lack of education, we feel left behind. But through we feel now, we feel hope with him, this fellow assistance where this fellow project can come, by continue for building now education block at the beginning and also future block with him this fellow project. So we feel very happy to us for this fellow project where we feel give come local community level. So him no that one. Yeah, we feel start to find him out that communication him power. Yeah. So we be without him communication by no anything happen. By we no sabe. But what now? Communication him power. Him give him power now this time. For what now you say look him outside, then you me build from. I think that will now power me think about him how communication empower blow you me. Without that knowledge, by you me lack of information, then nothing will happen. So you me thank you Lord that one.
I'm Simon Tavake for SIBC TV.
Still on the DVI project launch, the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock calls for the Digital Village Initiative to be confined to Malaita province during its initial rollout stage to ensure its impact is monitored. MAL Permanent Secretary Dr. Samson Viulu said during the DVI launch in Auki. He said Malaita province has the potential to use the DVI for economic growth activities.
For monitoring and evaluation purposes, I would suggest going forward, instead of we would like to have it in all our provinces, maybe some selected pilot sites in all provinces. However, my suggestion would be, why not if we first concentrate the DVI here on Malaita first? Apart from Nambubaula now, then we go to other regions of Malaita and let's see how successful it would be on Malaita. The people of Malaita, I think the special thing about the people of Malaita is that they are very industrious people, meaning they are very hardworking people. They are not just given sufficient opportunities or access to these kinds of new opportunities. That's why they are still holding back in terms of productivity, in terms of economic growth, in terms of improvement in the livelihood. And so having this as a very good example here in Nambubaula, and maybe we extend to another 3 or 4 sites in the other regions of Malaita, would be a very welcoming approach for us.
The National Referral Hospital remains open throughout the Christmas and New Year holidays. The Ministry of Health and Medical Services in a press statement issued reports as an essential service, health and medical services at the hospital will operate as normal and available for the public seeking medical attention during the festive season. Nurses and medical doctors are being rostered and will ensure all clinics and departments are manned and offering services as normal. The public is being urged to seek medical attention early at the nearest health facility for outpatient services. However, the hospital emergency services remain open for patients needing medical attention. SIBC News understands last week the public raised concerns on social media following a notice by NRH that some of its services will be closed during the festive season. Now, Opposition Leader Honorable Matthew Wale is urging the government to implement stronger monitoring and compliance measures in the mining sector, following the Ministry of Mines, Energy and Rural Electrification statement that the new Mines Amendment Bill will address current gaps in the industry. Wale stressed the importance of safeguarding Solomon Islands' non-renewable resources and ensuring the sector is properly regulated to prevent exploitation. Elisa Kukutu with more.
Opposition leader and member of the Public Accounts Committee, Honorable Matthew Wale, calls for robust and proper monitoring of the mines sector. Honorable Wale made the call following the Ministry of Mines, Energy and Rural Electrification's report that the new Mines Amendment Bill will close current gaps in the country's mining industry once it is passed by Parliament. He said proper compliance measures should be taken by the responsible ministry to ensure the country is not exploited of its non-renewable resources.
But in the meantime, surveillance and compliance meeting is very important to us local capacity of the ministry. You may not wait until the MRA is set up. And this lab must function all the capacity. There must be world class. So that we can do the tests ourselves and we know that they're not lying to us. Or get mining company or get logging companies to you, could good to us for lie. So if we're, at their mercy, we're receiving their reports and working out royalties and duty and awesome based on what they're giving to us. This one have no good situation to be in, and I know that's been the situation for many, many years.
Meanwhile, Permanent Secretary Dr. Chris Vehe admits lack of specialized human resources within the ministry, so many of their compliance processes not enforced.
I had to admit that because of our issues on human resource support here, it will really fail miserably. But we are trying our very best to do new recruitments. We've just able to get our new legal officer too for come help me fella, Loridim lawyer, and also in time. And also I'm happy to inform the committee that we've just had some confirmations from finance too that the establishment of EITI is now in place. MB law they are finished. Has recently been signed off by the two ministers again, Minister Blomifal and Blue Finance for reigniting more what's EITI is supposed to be doing on the extractive industry. So in the medium term or immediate terms, these are but few measures.
SIBC News understands the new amended Mines Bill is expected to be tabled in Parliament next year. Eliza Kokutu for SIBC TV.
The Government of National Unity and Transformation GNAT, after coming into power, has since prioritised Solomon Islands development as one of its top priorities. Prime Minister Jeremiah Manile said in his Christmas message to the country. He said despite efforts to steer political instability in the country, his government has managed to overcome the challenge. He said the passing of government's budget demonstrates his government's commitment to the country.
During the 7.5 months the Government of National Unity and Transformation was in office, it has put in place a platform to launch its transformational and unifying agenda for our beloved country for the next few years in government. The government's budget was passed by Parliament. This will ensure that work will commence in earnest in the new financial year, commencing several days from now, on 1st January 2025. Fellow citizens, by the grace of God, our country survived efforts to distract and to destabilize our country and aim to create disunity among our people, as we have witnessed in the recent tabling of a motion of no confidence in the government that was only 7.5 months old. Through the will of our Almighty Father, we witnessed the motion was withdrawn. I thank the Lord as I join King David's declaration in the book of Psalms, chapter 121, verses 1 and 2, when he said, and I quote, I lift mine eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. End of quote. Fellow citizens, having seen God's guiding hands in our affairs during 2024, let this year's message of Christmas represent a new beginning and a new life where salvation is assured and humanity is transformed by our God.
Mr. Manele adds his government remained true to its founding pillars.
Political stability is the key to success, as we have witnessed through the successful hosting and delivery of the 2023 Pacific Games, the largest and most successful Pacific Games ever. The Government of National Unity and Transformation remains true to its founding pillars of economic transformation, unity and stability, infrastructure development, and human capacity development. Looking forward to 2025 and beyond, with God's guidance and your participation, the GNAT pledges to build a strong, caring, united, resilient, and prosperous nation. We will work with you to navigate through challenges. Together, we will seize opportunities, guided by the principles of transparency, good governance, inclusivity, and sustainability. The guiding principles of the GNAT policy clearly state that Solomon Islands is a Christian and sovereign state, founded on Christian principles and values. It also states that all people are made in the image of God and are equal in His sight.
Only 11% of Solomon Water customers are paying their bills on time, leaving the utility with nearly $68 million in outstanding residential debt. CEO Carmine Piantedosi revealed the financial strain this has placed on the company. Alex Dadamu reports.
Only 11% of Solomon Water customers clear and pay up their water bills on time. Solomon Water CEO Carmine Piantedosi reveals to the Public Accounts Committee. He said residential customers' debt to his office amounts up to almost SBD $68 million. He said this has put a strain on Solomon Water's revenue.
From a statistical perspective, about 11% of our customers across the whole of Solomon Water, customers pay their bill on time and in full. Only 11%. So outstanding revenue from even residential customers. We have about 38 commercial customers that are outstanding for some years now, and we've been trying to collect. But residential customers is almost 68 million over a few years now, but we haven't been able to recover that. And every year we write a certain amount of outstanding debt off.
He said current non-revenue water loss stands at 60%. He adds they hope to reduce the non-revenue water loss to 30% once the current trunk water main project is completed.
Some of the work that we're doing from the project perspective is covering about 10 kilometres of trunk main that we believe has a lot of NRW associated with it, but there's 400 kilometres of pipe that we're not addressing as well. So
at the moment, what's the total non-revenue water loss?
60% across the national
After
figure.
the project, you will have reduced that to what?
It's very difficult to say, but our aim is to reduce it to 30% by 2028. Now that non-revenue water is not just caused by leaking pipes or trunk mains, it's also theft, meter reading issues, other non-technical issues. When I look at the legal connections, we have approximately 5,000, up to 5,000 illegal connectors.
In Honiara?
In Honiara. So if we were to reduce that number to zero, we could save about 15% of our NRW.
Alex Dadamu for SIBC TV.
The Ombudsman Office has raised concerns about its struggling capacity to carry out its responsibilities, citing a shortage of staff that has persisted since 2018. Ombudsman Fred Fakari revealed that the office, which is tasked with overseeing government actions, currently operates with just 6 investigators to cover the entire country. Alex Dadamu with the details.
The Ombudsman Office reports they have been asking government since 2018 to increase their staff. Ombudsman Fred Fakari said they have been struggling to effectively carry out their mandated work as they lack the manpower to do so. He said currently they only have 6 investigators within the office that covers the whole country.
We've been asking for resources since 2018. public service helping me for developing my organizational structure, where giving me for the opportunity to have more staff, and they have not given us any single staff, new ones, or additional positions to take them since 2018, when that full structure approved by cabinet, by public service, still subject to cabinet approval. That's what they're saying. So we continue with this cost-neutral budget policy.
Mr. Fakari adds currently they deal with complaint cases and not cases that require further investigations.
We have a lot of areas to go out there and find more truth in them. Over the larger ministries, current problem, same common problem. I think we do not have the capability of managing larger organizations. That could be the case. But we need to go out there and find real information so that we can. One of our mandates is to help public service improve its procedures, its processes, and we have not done that very well. We continue to do complaint investigations. Yeah, we are able to do that, but the system issues continue to impinge on us, and I don't know how long, but we may continue to wait for changes local.
Alex Dadamu for SIBC TV.
Revenue from mining operations in the country is expected to increase following the recent discovery of Gold Ridge mining gold deposit from 3.5 million ounce to 10 million ounce. Ministry of Mines, Energy and Rural Electrification Permanent Secretary Dr. Chris Vehe told the Public Accounts Committee. He said currently there are 2 sites being identified in the country as having the potential to operate at the scale of Bougainville Mine in Papua New Guinea.
So, gold itself, even Gold Ridge as we speak, they are currently having a resource of something like 3.5 million ounce there, and we've just discovered that they are confident that it's been increased to 10 million. So this is something, that's gold alone. For Kolola, Lo South Gwalea, and Sutakiki and Kuma, there's a potential of another Bougainville project, Lo regional, and we are looking at 64 billion resources there. So these are the kind of resources that we have. If we properly establish proper mechanisms, we can really have a proper mineral asset for the country. For him, giving me some hopes going into the future. And so discussions are that we need to get the good investors on board.
And that's news. Follow us on sibconline.com.sb and our SIBC News Facebook page for more of our latest stories. From the SIBC TV News team, we want to wish you all a happy and prosperous New Year 2025. Thanks for watching.